Okay, let's start. By the way, has it been raining when you're in school as well?
Yes.
Yes.
So has your CCAs been cancelled or PE been cancelled?
No. We do it indoors. It was always indoors, so it's no.
My
So
one
PE
next week was cancelled.
Your what next week was cancelled?
Next week CCA was cancelled.
Oh, because your CCA is outdoors?
My CCA is indoors, but some of them are outdoors.
So your CCA still goes on or is also cancelled?
It's also cancelled.
But why is indoors?
No.
It's indoors. Okay, interesting. All right, let's start. By the way, just a question. Will you rather burn to death or freeze to death?
Freeze.
Freeze? So you love the cold, I see. What about you? Freeze also?
Freeze.
But do you know if you're going to freeze to death, it's going to be a very slow process. Burn is like very fast. Freeze means you're going to you're going to feel the pain for a few hours before you die.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all love to torture yourself, I see. Good
I don't like
information.
torturing myself.
But you clearly chose to freeze to death instead of burn to death.
I rather sleep.
Has it been raining at night as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
That's a nice lullaby, right? You can listen to the rain drop and then you can sleep. Especially if your bed is close to the windows. Or you don't like the sound of the rain?
No, I'm surrounded by walls. I can't hear any rain.
There's no window in your room?
A bit.
Oh, that's so sad. What about you? Is there a window in your room?
Yeah, in every room.
Yes, that's good. So it looks like you're staying in a prison. That's very sad. You should make a window in your room. Or go out as often as you can. Okay, sorry. Okay, grammar MCQ. Do you know how many questions are there? Do you remember? How many questions? How many marks? Anyone?
10 questions, 10 marks.
Yes, very good. I say this every lesson. I'm bored of it already. So yes, it's 10 questions. Oh no. Come on, let me write. Okay, it's 10 questions, 10 marks, which means each of them is 1 mark, right? So 10 questions, 10 marks. What about comprehension cloze? This is the one that children always suffer with. This one and what's the other one? Synthesis and transformation, right? These two. Synthesis and transformation and comprehension cloze is where most of yours lose all the marks. How many marks? How many questions?
Was it 15 questions?
Yes, it's 15 questions. And it's 15 marks, right? So this one is very hard because it's like basically a passage with 15 blanks. 15 blanks in the passage. And then you need to fill in the blank. It will either be a verb, an adjective, an adverb, or a determiner. Determiner is basically comes before a noun. It tells you how many or how much of it. Like, for example, some, many, like quantifiers. Or it can be articles like the, and, or other kinds of determiners. So it can be a determiner, it can be an adverb, verb, adjective, noun, preposition. Yes, so those are these things that they're testing you for comprehension cloze. Now, situational writing is not from paper 2, right? It's paper 1. It's part of the 1 hour and 10 minutes paper. So when you open your booklet for paper 1, the first thing you will see is SW. By the way, whenever I say SW, I'm talking about situational writing, case short form. SW. So SW is how many marks? Anybody?
SW.
How many marks?
Oh.
Of course, only one question, but how many marks?
30?
30?
No, yeah, I think 30.
No, it's 15.
Oh, okay.
It's 15 marks. A good try. 6 marks for task fulfillment, meaning the content, you're answering all the bullet points, task fulfillment, and then 9 marks for language. Right? This is only 15 marks. Now, can you tell me how long do you have to complete your SW for PSLE? How much time do you have?
15 minutes.
Yes, you cannot spend more than 15 minutes on this. Okay, and this 15 minutes includes your planning, which means you underlining from the comic, right? Or from the text that is given, the answers to the bullet point. Not all the bullet points might have the answers of there directly, but most of them will. So you underlining and you planning the sequencing and all of that is part of 15 minutes. So technically you only have like 10 minutes to write, because the other 45 minutes is for your composition, which includes 5 minutes of planning. So that's how you get the whole 1 hour and 10 minutes altogether. So very important, like you only spend 3 minutes, okay? But of course, some students start with compo, then they start with SW. You can do whichever you want first, but just as long as you don't take too long for each of the component. All right, Let's start with our ant riddle for today. The answer is a noun. You're describing someone who is cruel and oppressive. It's a naming word. Oppressive means harsh and cruel. So this is usually used to as another word to call some like a dictator. A dictator is a ruler, right? But it's a one-person rule. So one person dictates how you live your life, what you can do and what you cannot do, right? And sometimes it can be very oppressive and harsh, meaning you have to work for 24 hours a day. Okay, you have to work for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without any break. Okay, you have only like 10 minutes to eat every day. That's like very harsh and very cruel. And then you're paid like, for example, $100. Okay, that's ridiculous, right? So that's oppressive and that's very, very cruel. And also, if you're treated like a slave, okay, I abuse you, I hit you, I punish you, okay. So those is what do you call this kind of person? Like Hitler. Have you heard of Hitler and his oppressive rule? So many Jews died, right, because of his racism, right? So like he's an example of this word. All right. And sometimes students love to use this word to compare this harsh treatment to their teacher or their parents or someone who's just abusive. Like, for example, my mom is a blank because she doesn't give me any freedom. I cannot do whatever I want to do. I need to do exactly what she does and have no life. So basically they use that word to compare her with that, with a simile. My mom is like a something. So what is this word? Anyone? It ends with ant, of course, an ant riddle. Don't know? Starts with T. I will give you the word. Okay, it's tyrant. Have you heard the word tyrant?
No.
No?
No.
Really? Okay, now you have heard the word tyrant. So tyrant is basically, for example, if I say an obsessive dictatorship, like for example, one ruler having all the control, okay? For example, my mom is like a tyrant, okay? I have no freedom in the house, okay? Or this person is like a tyrant, okay? She's always scolding me and yelling at me and I'm just abused all the time. So tyrant, okay? So when it comes off a vocabulary clause, in case in the 4 words, like if they're asking you for a ruler, then tyrant is a kind of ruler, but it's an oppressive ruler, okay? And it's a one-person rule. All right, let's continue with choosing my color pen. Which one? Who wants to choose first? You're looking at each other. Who wants to choose first? Okay, yes,
Is it the golden one? The one at the bottom.
Okay. So you mean this one, right?
Yeah, that one.
Yes. I just used this color just now for the previous class, but I'm going to continue this. Okay. Let's use gold for vocabulary close. Sorry, grammar close. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's start. Okay. This one. Can anybody tell me what is the answer and what is the clue? Wait, let me make this bigger first. Yes, tell me what is the answer and what is the clue. Why is it so small? Come on. Okay, who wants to tell me the answer? Oh, yes. What is the answer, Dhyati?
C, another.
Yes, very good. The answer is C, it's another, but can you tell me why?
Because it's a packet and you can't say some packet of chips, other packet of chips, enough packet of chips.
Why can't you say that? Yes, of course. Yes. Sorry, say it.
Packet is an accountable noun.
Very good. Packet is a countable. Yes, give yourself 2 points, one for the answer and one for the reason. So here you're focusing on the word packet, not on the word chips, because whenever you have off, right, in front of the word off is what the focus is in, right? So if I say a box of toys, for example, if I say a box of toys, the noun that I'm focusing on is box, not toys, okay? So here, packet is countable because you can say packets, right? You can add an S, correct? So this is how you know whether it's countable or uncountable. Okay, so a trick is if you can add an S behind, so if there's a plural form of that noun, right, that means it's countable. If you cannot add an S behind, it's uncountable. Now, another means another equals to N plus other. That's what another means. N plus other. And N refers to one thing, right? One item starting with A, E, I, O, U. And of course, this one, like Jati mentioned, is only for singular countable nouns. You cannot use another for singular uncountable nouns. There's no such thing as I want another time. Okay, time or I want another sleep, because it's uncountable. So you can only use it for singular. I'm going to write S for singular. And it has to be countable, C for countable. Now, some and enough, both some and enough, right? Some and enough are obviously more than one thing. Okay, and some is used for both countable and uncountable. Enough can also be used for both uncountable and countable nouns. So it's for both. Okay, but it's for plural. So for example, enough, I can say, I didn't get enough sleep. I cannot say I didn't get, yes, I didn't get enough sleep. That is plural, uncountable, okay? Or I didn't get enough, there isn't enough books. So that's an example of a countable noun. So you can use it for things you can count, things you cannot count. So it's for both. Same thing with some. I need some advice. There's no such thing as I need some advisors. Advice is an uncountable noun. So it's I need some advice. Or I have some questions from Miss Nisha. Questions is countable because you can add an S, right? Question becomes questions. So some is also for both. Now, other. Other you can only use for plural nouns. Right? Plural nouns, things you can count. Or singular, S for singular, uncountable nouns. Okay, I'll give you an example, okay? So an example for plural nouns is the other students are very noisy. So that's an example of a plural countable noun, right? Students you can count. What's an example of a singular uncountable noun? For example, I want the other music. Music is uncountable, right? It's singular, it's uncountable, and it's other music. So you can use it for uncountable as well, right? So that's so here packet is singular. So you can either be some, enough, or another. But of course, here referring to only one packet. So it cannot be some or enough because it's only one packet. So the answer is C. So good job. Here's your 2 points. Now let's look at question 2. Miss Emma Watson, what is the answer and what's the clue?
A little.
So the answer is B. Now what's the clue?
The juice because
Very good.
it's uncomfortable.
Very good. Give yourself 2 points. Well done. Now, for the past 3 years, for PSLE, grammar MCQ, this kind of question has come out, where the A, B, C, D options are countable and uncountable nouns. So you need to know which kind of quantifiers, these are all examples of quantifiers, by the way, which kind of quantifiers you can use for countable and which kind of quantifiers you cannot use for countable. So in this list, A, B, C, and D, can you tell me which ones, A, B, C, and D, which ones are used only for uncountable nouns? Which ones? Anyone? You know a little is already uncountable because you know the answer is uncountable juice, right? So you know that a little is uncountable. What else here is uncountable?
Not much.
Yes, very good. Not much is also uncountable. Gives her a point, Emma. Good. What else is uncountable here?
Less.
Yes, very good. Less is also uncountable. Okay. What about enough? I mentioned just now, right? Enough is what?
Countable.
Uncountable and countable.
Yes, it's both. Okay, like I don't have enough time, there isn't enough tables. Okay, so you can use it for countable and uncountable. So enough is both. Less and little is only used for things you cannot count. For example, less money, little time, or much sleep. So these are examples of all these uncountable nouns. Now, what is the opposite of less and little for countable? So if I want to say I don't have much of these things, but they are countable things, what's the quantifier I'll use?
Many.
More?
No. Many and more is many, right? I'm talking about less and little means not enough, right? So less and little, what's the countable, what quantifier will you use if it's a countable noun? And I don't have enough of it. Instead of less and little, I will say what?
Few?
Yes, very good. Gives us a point. Few is countable. right? So what is the opposite of much?